Bellator 267. These are the full card predictions and the betting breakdown. Sweet main event rematch between Lima and MVP. Cannot wait to talk about that fight. We'll talk about every fight on the card, giving you my predictions, some betting tips. Make sure you guys smash that like button. I need at least 150 likes on this Bellator full card breakdown. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, turn on those post notifications. You do not want to miss a video. Keep it locked in here at MMA Experts. Let's get into it. The first fight of the night. Down at the bottom, bantamweight division fight between Khurshed, Kakhorov, and Jair Jr. Interesting matchup in the bantamweight division. On the side of Jair Jr., you have a Thai-esque style striker with some pretty good boxing skills. His jiu-jitsu is really good as well. Super dangerous from the bottom. He's going to throw up submission attacks from there. On the feet also, you do have to watch out for his low kicks. He will eat at the legs, but on the opposite side, essentially, you have a monster of a prospect with Khurshed, slick striker, really good kickboxing skills, and he starts extremely fast. Now, he's really strong in the clinch too, which I think is a serious advantage here. Fights well with his opponents against the cage, and he will rip nasty knees to the body that will do serious damage. Now, he can get a bit reckless, which does make him really fun to watch. Of course, there'll be counters available. I don't think Jair is going to get him out of here. I don't think Jair is going to beat him. Khurshed, Kakhorov, he's going to win. Knockout, round number 2, and I do think you need to watch out for those body knees. I see him ripping ferocious knees to the body against the cage, and I think he's going to hurt Jair Jr. Knockout, the second round. Let's check out some of the betting odds for this fight. As of right now, Khurshed is sitting around. Oh, we're going to have to pull up best fight odds because they don't have this undercard bout. Khurshed Kakhorov, super hard name to pronounce. He is a minus 450 favorite. So the odds are very wide for this matchup. I do think he's a bit of a lock pick here. I see him winning the bout. Should be a sweet fight to start it off. Keep your eyes on Khurshed Kakhorov because I really think he's a hot prospect in this bantamweight division for Bellator. 7-0. So many things to like here. Cannot wait to see this fight. Knockout, round number 2 for him. The next fight of the night. Chiara, Penco, and Katharina, Dalisda. Good women's bout here. Straw weight division action for these ladies. With Katharina, you have a southpaw with some really solid kickboxing skills, and she really does start quickly. She'll mix it up well in the close range. Definitely good counter strikes from there. Really likes that double jab overhand combo. When you see an MMA fighter with a jab, especially at these lower levels, women's division, it's extremely effective. With Chiara on the other side, she's a pretty decent striker. I do feel like a little bit stiff, kind of stationary head there to be hit. She does have some pretty decent straight punches, and she is really good with her jiu-jitsu. Now, I think she will get into trouble striking with Katharina. I also think Katharina, physically stronger, will have advantages if the fight is attempted to go to the ground by Chiara. I think we're going to see Katharina Dalisda put on a pretty solid performance over the course of 3 rounds, winning a unanimous decision. Now, the odds at the moment for this fight, let's see what they're sitting around. Katharina is sitting at a minus 130 favorite to the plus 100 underdog. The minus 130 tag actually isn't bad here. It's nearly pick'ems. I just feel Katharina has a vastly superior skill set, and I really think she's going to put on a swell performance here, winning a hard-fought decision over a tough girl in Chiara Beastly Barbie Penco. Should be a good second fight of the night with these ladies going at it here. And our next fight of the night, Fabacary Diatta takes on Nathan Rose. It's a good featherweight fight, and they're both strikers. These prelims are action-packed. I really think this is going to be an interesting fight. On the side of Diatta, he's a pretty bouncy striker with a real Thai-esque style of striking. Really forward pressure. He is going to look to throw hooks when he gets inside the close distance. Really nice low kicks as well. And he is a pretty damn athletic fighter. Now, on the opposite side, Nathan Rose is a pressure striker as well. Fights out of the southpaw stance. Starts quickly, and his kickboxing skills are nasty. Super good low kicks, fast hands. and he moves a lot. He's really light on his feet. Also mixes up level change as well. Is very fast, and I would say he's a very good athlete. Also, maybe even the better athlete of the two between two athletic fighters. He has a height advantage of 2 inches, a 2-inch reach advantage as well to go alongside of that. I think that is a factor. Unfortunately, he is on a 2-fight Bellator losing streak. His opponent's 7-0 in his career, but I don't think you can sleep on Nathan Rose. I actually think Rose is going to beat Fabacary Diatta by knockout in the 3rd round in what should be an action-packed fight, potential classic type of Bellator fight. Let's see what the odds are. Minus 325 for Diatta, Rose sitting at plus 250. I like that I like that plus 250 money. I'm surprised. Minus 325. I think realistically, if I was making the odds, minus 175, plus 135, plus 140. They shouldn't be this widespread. I like Nathan Rose, underdog pick here at that plus 250 tag, and I do think he'll get a 3rd round stoppage, in which should be a really action-packed fight. Watch out for some level changes too, which I think will open things up striking. The next fight of the night, Jack Grant, Nathan Jones. I love this matchup. I love a lot of these Bellator prelims. Like, sometimes we shit on the Bellator prelims, but this is an excellent prelim card. On the side of Jones, you have a really slick kickboxer with very good skill sets kind of overall. I would say he's pretty well-rounded, but his kicks are excellent. He can throw to all levels at an extremely proficient level. Forward pressure style. Now, he is a little bit susceptible to takedowns against the superior grapplers and top control. On the opposite side, Jack Grant, he's a pretty smooth kickboxer with nasty kicks, but he also shines with his takedowns, his top control, has very good grappling skills. I think he'll put a lot of pressure on Nathan Jones, putting him up against the cage, probably working towards takedowns. I think it's potential risk if Jack Grant gets in there and mixes it up with Nathan Jones. You can't sleep on the striking skills. Now, it's not like Jones is a one-trick pony. He is decent with his jiu-jitsu as well, but I think Grant's top pressure is superior by a fair margin. Not an easy fight, but Jack Grant wins a decision in this one. The odds, minus 500 to plus 375. They are super widespread. I feel as though they could be closer. I would like it more around that minus 200, plus 150 range, maybe even minus 250, but they have them super widespread. Be cautious if you're betting this fight. Jack Grant, good prospect, 17-7, so I guess necessarily can we really call him a prospect, but he is a prospect in Bellator. I think he's too wide of a favorite. He's lost a recent bout at Cage Warriors against Ian Gary, unbeaten, very tricky fight. That was a title fight, but I still think Jack Grant beats Nathan Jones here, but he shouldn't be this big of a favorite. They have him overpriced. Unfortunately, the lines are going to do that. The bookie's trying to save a little money with some potential guarantee victories, even though Nathan Jones is a fighting shot. But we got Jack Grant by a decision. Now, if you guys haven't yet smashed the hell out of that like button, I need at least 150 likes on this Bellator breakdown. Let's talk about this fight. Charlie Leary and Benjamin Brander. With Charlie Leary, you get action. With Benjamin Brander, you get action. Another action-packed fight. I really think they're going to deliver here. They're bringing these fights with straight bangers throughout. On the side of Leary, really solid with his striking, but excellent in the boxing realm. Super good double jab, as I mentioned earlier. Boxing and MMA, and especially when you have a good jab, it goes a very long way. Now, he's not a young guy. He is 38. Closes distance really well. Granted, can be hit because he'll mix it up. He'll let the hands fly inside with multi-punch combinations. But Charlie Leary, known for toughness and durability. On the upper side, Benjamin Brander. He's a pretty aggressive striker, likes that low stance. Now, he is a little bit susceptible to takedowns against the superior wrestlers in the game. I don't think he'll have that same threat from Leary here. He's a guy who likes to mix it up inside as well. And I feel like his high volume of striking is going to lead us to an action-packed battle. Expect fireworks. I expect Charlie Leary to sleep Benjamin Brander in the 2nd round. Knockout win for Charlie Leary here. Now, the odds. They have Leary sitting around, let's see, minus 200 to plus 160. I like that minus 200 tag for Charlie Leary, even though he is 38. He's had some good experience, solid level, beat Kiefer Crosby. Tim Wilde, tough loss, but not really a bad loss there. Also have a win over Chris Bungard. So he's got that Bellator experience at this point. Benjamin on the other side, some recent bouts out elsewhere. A month ago, he actually lost the fight. Interestingly enough, he's coming off of a very quick turnaround. It was against Greg Shestakov that he won a unanimous decision. I think he's going to be in trouble with Charlie Leary here. He's going to get stopped in the 2nd round. Action-packed fight, though, and one you do not want to miss. I'm telling you, I know I'm hyping up this Bellator card, but it literally deserves the hype, and I'm praising the hell out of it because looking into these guys, you know you're going to get good fights. Now, the next fight of the night, female flyweight bout, Elina Kallionidou versus Petra Částková. Interesting fight between both these ladies, but crossroads. 22 versus 39. They're in very different points of their life, even though the 22-year-old's much more experienced as a pro, 7-4. At 39, Petra, 4-3 as a pro. So lacking that experience that we see from the younger girl, Elina. Think serious factor for Elina. Elina is a pretty skilled kickboxer with a really bouncy style. Now, her straight punches are pretty decent, and she does have some nasty body kicks. You have to watch out for that lead leg switch kick because it'll put girls down. On the other side, Petra is a rangy striker. Now, she keeps her hands out a bit far and low, fights out of the southpaw stance, which could pose the young fighter a bit of issues. I don't think a ton here because she's the superior striker. Lots of movement from Petra. She'll need it, and I do think she'll be on the bicycle a lot here, but you're going to see Elina put it on her here and put on a pretty swell performance. I don't think it's necessarily an easy fight, but I think Elina will get a victory by a unanimous decision. As we see with a lot of women's bouts, they tend to go the distance. This one will do the same with the 22-year-old Greek prospect getting the W, Elina Kallionidou. Odds sitting at, let's see if we can find them here. Kallionidou. Might have to jump to best fight odds. It's interesting how FightOdds.io doesn't have all the fights. Kallionidou, minus 260. Petra, plus 200. I like that minus 260 favorite here, and I do think she will win this bout by a unanimous decision. When the props drop, we'll be doing the this week's best MMA bets, and we will go super deep with that, so make sure to tune into it. Next fight of the night, Kane Mousah and Davy Gallon. This is good stuff. This is good action. I'm excited to see how this bout goes. Davy coming off a win over Ross Pearson. It was a while ago, nearly 2 years, but that's still a big W, especially that Rolling Thunder KO. His opponent fought nearly a year ago against Alessandro Botti, winning a hard-fought split decision. Kane Mousah is a solid kickboxer. He has excellent kicks from range. He's definitely an athletic and super fast type of fighter. Also brings good grappling skills. Definitely helps that he is physically strong, and he's a guy that definitely has some serious explosiveness. Davy Gallon on the other side is a pretty decent striker with a lot of heart though. Solid jab, good level changes. Now he likes to pressure his opponents up against the cage and work for top control. I think he will look to do that here because I think that Mousah has a clear striking edge, and especially that speed advantage. Counters will be open. You're going to see Mousah knock him out, though. I think the physical strength and grappling defense is good enough. Kane, the Danger Mousah, KO TKO, round number 2. He's going to get a victory over Davy Gallon in this fight. Odds for this one, sitting at minus 205 for Mousah. Davy Gallon, plus 165. I like the favorite in Kane Mousah, and I think an inside the distance. I think knockout victory for him. Second round. Good fight. These prelims, impressing me. Bellator, kudos to you for this one. Now, the featured prelim of the night, it features Louis Long versus Michael Dubois. Dubois coming off 2 straight losses, and it was a brutal knockout in the last one. He got slept badly in KSW. Looks to bounce back here. He's taking on Louis Long. Has some, decent level of experience. Recent 3 bouts in Bellator. Cage Warriors veteran as well. It goes a long way. Granted, KSW is a good league as well. With Michael Dubois, you have a really powerful striker who comes over aggressively. Definitely comes over aggressive. He's going to look for the knockout. And looking for the knockout puts yourself into bad positions a fair amount of the times. That's why you see that 11-7 record. There's definitely been tough losses, bad counter knockout in the last one. He starts fast and he's going to come forward. Now, his grappling skills are pretty decent. Definitely will look for takedowns and control, really heavy kicks. But in this fight, he takes on Louis Long, who keeps his stance very tight. His style is pretty slick striking. Good head movement, so he's going to be able to avoid a lot of the chaotic attacks that you'll see from Dubois because he's going to come at him hard in that first round. Boxing skill, 100% there. Good forward pressure, but consistent and patient, not over-aggressive like you see from Dubois. Very good physical strength. Good takedown skill set, top control is very heavy, and also on the ground, nasty ground and pound, and good submission skills. This is a Louis Long fight. He'll get the victory. Second round submission for Louis Long over Michael Dubois in this matchup. The odds, let's see where they have Louis Long here. All right, let's see if I can find Long. We might have to jump to best fight odds. Yes, we do. Lewis Long, minus 300. Dubois, plus 240. I like that minus 300 favorite. I got some good confidence in Lewis Long. I think we'll get a very impressive victory here. Submission win. And we go into this week's Best MMA bets. We'll definitely be talking some nice props for this card that I think you guys can cash nicely on. Now, let's jump to the main card. If you guys have not yet, smash the hell out of that like button. I need at least 150 likes. If you are new, subscribe to the channel and turn those post notifications on. You do not want to miss a video here at MMA Experts. Much love to everybody tuning in. I really appreciate all of you for making this all possible. Yves Landu versus Tim Wilde, lightweight division matchup. I think it'll deliver for sure. With Yves, you have a pretty aggressive striker with quality kickboxing skill set, fast with his kicks from range, and honestly, he has a pretty dynamic attack. He'll throw flying knees, he'll be able to catch you from distance, exploding in with Superman punches. The guy's very athletic. You can even call this man acrobatic if you've seen some of his post-fight antics. 35 years of age, his opponent 34, so not much of a disadvantage, in the age, but granted, sometimes when fighters hit that 35 or over mark, we do have to be cautious. With Wilde, you have a really slick striker who keeps those hands low. Now, he's confident in both stances, which I do think is a fair advantage in this fight, with really fast multi-shot combinations as he'll close distance, and the man is down to brawl. He has good toughness. I think he's going to put Yves Landu to the test. It'll be a good striking match. I could see them going 1-1 for the first two. Third round, knockout. Tim Wilde, he's going to sleep Yves Landu in round number 3. I am riding with Tim Wilde in this matchup. I think it's a damn good one. A damn good one. Action-packed fight nonetheless. Minus 185 favorite is Wilde. Yves Landu plus 155. I like Tim Wilde, and I like him by that third round knockout. You can't sleep on Yves Landu, though. He is a very difficult test. He could put it on Wilde. Still, I see Wilde winning this bout. I believe his durability will be there. Dynamic striking game, and he's fighting another dynamic striker. Knockout, third round, action-packed fight. Definitely tune into the first fight on this Bellator main card. The next fight of the night features really hot prospect Luke Trainer taking on Yannick Bahati. Bahati's coming off a bad loss, and that was to Melvin Manhoef. And you look, he has a lot of bad losses. He's taken a fair amount of L's. Granted, Dricus Du Plessis, good name. Mike Shipman, not a terrible fighter. Damian Janoskias was 2-0 at the time. Then he gets a win over a 4-4 fighter, which isn't super impressive. And obviously, Manhoef, longtime veteran of the game. Even though his opponent hasn't had the name value of experience, he's been very dominant and sweet performance in his Bellator debut, a straight beatdown, and the guy is a physical specimen. Luke Trainer is 6'6" with an 84.5-inch reach. That's John Jones level reach. That's almost unheard of in the fight game, especially the light heavyweight division. Trainer, hot prospect, Thai-style striker, which I like a lot here. He's a confident fighter. He just shows that confidence. Granted, unbeaten, young in the fight game. You're going to have confidence, maybe overconfidence, but I think it's a good factor here against a guy who has been beaten consistently in the past. With Trainer, you also get a really skilled grappler. Excellent takedowns, good defense as well. If people shoot on him, I think, honestly, Yannick will get into trouble on the feet, potentially shoot for takedowns here. Good submission skills from Luke Trainer, and his top control, very good as well. With Yannick, you have a decent kickboxing game. Good front kicks, nice pressure forward style. Susceptible to takedowns, definitely in this matchup. I don't want to say he's an average fighter, but, an okay skill set. He's decent. But at this level, you have prospect on the rise versus, okay fighter, 9-5 record. This is going to be a straight beatdown. Luke Trainer is going to put it on Yannick Bahati. I think Luke Trainer is going to win. Inside the distance, first round stoppage. I think he could get a submission or a TKO. I think the fight probably ends up on the ground with Trainer on top, unloading shots. If the submission opens up for the rear naked, he'll go for it. If not, he'll get that TKO. I'll pick TKO, but definitely when the props come out, there's going to be some value in that sub prop. Trainer, the odds are sitting at minus 500, plus 375. I have to say those odds aren't terrible. I get why. Trainer has that skill set where he can run through a guy like Yannick Bahati. It's not going to be close. Luke Trainer, stoppage, first round. The next fight of the night, it is the featured bout. Robert Whiteford and Andrew Fisher. there was a layoff that Fisher had and then recently came back, nearly a year ago. On the opposite side, it's been nearly 2 years since Whiteford had his great comeback win over Sam Cecilia, which was an excellent performance. Definitely brought up his stock well. 38 years of age. Granted, I think he's still got something left. I don't think it's 38 and done. With Whiteford, you have a southpaw with some really good boxing. And honestly, he's down to bang, maybe too much so that he can get caught and hurt. But in this fight, I think he will do pretty well. Fisher, though, has a decent striking game and he likes to come forward. A lot less speed, a lot less explosiveness, a lot less athleticism. Now, with Fisher, he's smart. He likes to use that lead hand as a rangefinder. Sometimes I do find him a bit too square. Now, his takedown game is decent, though, and he definitely can take guys to the floor. Whiteford here, I think that his relentless toughness, his forward pressure and aggressiveness is going to get him the win. I think he'll put it on Andrew Fisher. Knockout round number 2 for Robert Whiteford. The odds, what are they sitting at? Minus 290 for Whiteford, plus 230 for Fisher. He's a kind of wide favorite here. But I do think it's understandable, but at 38, I'd like to see it more at minus 200. I think it could be a little bit closer, and then the value would tempt me a lot more so to bet. But we do have Whiteford inside the distance. I think second round knockout win here for him in our featured bout of the night. Let's jump to the co-main event. Good female action. Leah McCourt takes on Jessica Borga. McCourt's a hot SBG prospect on the rise. Borga, tough girl from Florida. I think this is a very fun fight. With Leah McCourt, you have a technical kickboxer. Her skill set is very good with striking, but she also has really good ground game. She gets on top, she's going to do a lot of damage. Attacks with submissions, very heavy on top, positional dominance. Striking, well, you have to jump back to it. Bouncy style, very light on her feet, which I like a lot. Tons of teeps from that mid to long range, which control the range well for her. Her hands are good too, and she'll rip the low kicks, maybe making her opponent want to shoot. And Leah's dangerous on the ground. Jessica is going to be in trouble if she goes to the floor there. Even though she is a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt in her own right, she's good on the floor. This matchup, maybe she'll want to strike. Still, I think she'll find trouble. Borga's a decent striker with a very boxing-heavy attack. Now, as I mentioned, she's skilled on the mat. Brown belt in jiu-jitsu, heavy ground and pound when she's on top. She'll shoot for submissions. She's good. She's durable. She's tough. And I do think she will be in this fight. I think she will survive the 3 rounds, but she's not going to beat Leah McCourt. Leah McCourt win by a unanimous decision in this fight. Odds are super wide, minus 600, plus 400. Ugly betting spot here. Would advise against it, especially for this women's MMA co-main event. But Leah McCourt, very confident pick. Not a ton of value for the bet. We'll see what the props look like as they open up, and then we'll be able to go deeper with it on this week's best MMA bets. And the main event of the evening, if you guys have not yet, smash that like button. I need at least 150 likes on this full Bellator breakdown. Subscribe. If you guys are new here, you want to keep it locked in at MMA Experts. Much love to everybody, and let's talk about it. Douglas Lima, Michael Venom Page, the rematch. The rematch that I've been waiting for. I'm really happy we get to see it. That first fight, when we go back to it and watch, I think we have to be fair. Michael Venom Page was having great moments. He stunned Douglas Lima, which is not an easy feat to do. Lima's extremely durable. That straight shot of Michael Venom Page, second to none. One of the best straights in the game. And he can do it from both stances, orthodox or southpaw. Now, he's not a young guy, 34. He looks young, though. He has that young look to him. But he's 34 years of age now. He's a year older, nearly, than Douglas Lima, who has held the belt. Long reigning champion, challenged for that middleweight title as well. 2-fight losing streak. Gegard Mousasi, no shame. Yaroslav Amosov, no shame. Especially on a Mousah matchup. It's just nightmarish. You got a guy who's just going to take you down and control you. This fight is striker versus striker. Lima's a good Muay Thai style striker. Really good knockout power. He slept Michael Venom Page in that first fight. His hooks are ferocious. Now, his game is well-rounded overall, and unless you're like an Amosov, you're not going to control this guy on the ground. The low kicks are very nasty, which could be a factor here. Michael Venom Page has a really wide stance, that karate-esque style, and it's super angled. You got to see low kicks from Lima here. I think that will be his best method to slow Michael Venom Page down. But Page is going to put it on him. He's going to be chopping at the kicks, and more so, he's going to be stomping at the legs. He throws that like lead leg knee stomp, which is a very effective technique to slow down Douglas Lima from closing that distance. You're going to see the karate-esque style of striking from Page on display. He's super dynamic. Definitely going to be looking for those straight punches, and I think it's a factor. Page is very explosive. He controls range well, but where does he struggle? On the ground. doesn't throw a ton up from the bottom. If he goes to the floor and he's on his back, I think he's going to more so look to hold and wait out till the end of the round. Page, though, he's still, I believe, going to deliver, get himself a win. He's going to defeat Douglas Lima by second round knockout. Watch out for that straight punch. I believe that will be the one that lands. Not necessarily Lima going downhill, but the momentum is definitely not on his side, whereas Page is thriving as of right now. Knockout, round number 2, Michael Venom Page. He beats Douglas Lima. Maybe he fights for a title. Maybe the UFC signs him. Tons of options. And what an excellent main event. Let's check the odds. Pretty much a pick'ems. Slight underdog. Michael Venom Page at plus 100. Let's see what props they have right now. Lima at best values minus 105. Over 2.5, minus 105. Under 2.5, minus 125. Fight goes the distance plus 120. Fight ends inside the distance. I definitely believe it will. Minus 160. Page wins inside the distance plus 215. I want to see what that knockout prop is when it drops because I'm very interested in playing that one. I got Venom Page in what should be a great main event. Overall, this is a swell Bellator card. Make sure you guys tune into it. Definitely will have a fight companion for it. We know we got to do them for Bellator. Much love to everybody who tunes into the videos. Smash that like button. We need at least 150. I'd like to see more, even 200. Subscribe if you guys are new to the channel. Appreciate you guys. We hit 4K subscribers, which is an awesome feat, and I really do. I love all you guys. Thank you for the continued support. Let me know in the comments what you guys think of the predictions. Much love, everyone. I hope you all have a great night. Plenty of content coming out, so keep it locked in here at MMA Experts, and I will see you all in the next video.